We Googled and watched YouTube, and now we're building our first PC. This first part will be a series of unboxing of what we bought online for the PC build. Our first purchase is this, the brain of the computer. This comes with a cooler fan with a pre-installed thermal paste. The paste will be removed if you touch it. This is a gaming processor and it's cheaper than its AMD counterpart. We will also use this for productivity. So here it is. YouTubers claim that this budget motherboard can overclock processors. This is a micro ATX and not the ATX that we wanted. Surprisingly, micro ATX is cheaper, compact size, and we may not need the extra features of an ATX. We relied on brand name for durability. It has PCI 5 for GPU, PCI 4 for RAM, and also the needed USB 3.0, 2.0, HDMIs, fan headers, LAN port, and Wi-Fi 6. And I am hoping that my 12th gen processor will be compatible with this board. YouTubers even overclock the processor using this board. So here is our MOBO. Third, we bought this GPU which is listed as compatible with our motherboard. Also included is a thermal paste with good reviews for our CPU. This graphics card is faster than 3060, which is usually paired with our processor. This also has better performance in productivity. But what we like more is its low power consumption. We just relied on brand name for the appearance, features, and durability because we are new in PC building. We're happy with this GPU. Our fourth purchase is in the list of the compatible parts to our processor and motherboard. This is the most affordable branded DDR5 and it is overclockable. In our fifth purchase, we did not fall for the cheaper model because specification is more important in storages. Now for our sixth and seventh purchases, our excitement in PC building is very high. We've read less issues and negative reviews on this PSU. This is reasonably priced considering this is a newer version. We have spent so much and we are looking forward now to building our first PC. This case already comes with 4 fans with LED, power on button, USB, and HDMI ports. For its price, this is perfect for our PC build. The steps are 1. Install the CPU. We are removing the pre-applied thermal paste because we want a better thermal paste. The place of the triangle mark in the CPU must match the place of the triangle mark in the motherboard. The place of the triangle mark in our motherboard is here. We are placing the processor exactly into the slot. This triangle mark is in the correct place. It also matches the triangle mark on the slot cover. Be careful not to bend pins. We see to it that the pins in the slot will be correctly connected to the CPU. The locking mechanism of the slot touches only the sides of the CPU. We're just afraid here we can bend some pins or damage the CPU. So step 1 CPU done. Loosen the latches of the second and fourth memory slots. Step 2, inserting the two memory RAMs. We have a hard time inserting the RAMs because we are afraid to bend the board and its circuitry. The latch of the slot does not also click easily. So I pulled the latch up, but I'm not confident with it. We are inserting the second RAM and it clicked easily. We are careful not to bend the board.
Motherboard.
We reinserted the first RAM and it clicked.
Okay na dito lang ito.
Step 3 is installing the 1TB SSD M.2. Loosen the screw and the heatsink will be removed. Insert the storage at an angle and push it to the latch. Then turn the latch until it locks on top of the storage. We are new in PC building. Turning the latch is not one click. So let's try again. Then we will return the heatsink cover. Step 4 is the installation of the CPU cooling fan. We will apply a drop of thermal paste and spread it all over the CPU evenly. This will help in lowering the temperature of the CPU. We are hoping that this and the stock cooling fan will be enough. Now we will place the stock cooling fan gently on top of the CPU. We had a hard time here because there seems to be a proper orientation in fitting the 4 connectors to the motherboard. It seems to be that the wire should be on top to have a proper orientation. CPU cooling fan fitted now. Then connect the wire to the CPU fan header. CPU fan cooler installed now. Then we mounted the motherboard to the case. We are adding 2 mounting adapters for the right side of the motherboard. We're counting the mounting adapters, which should match the motherboard's holes. Great, the motherboard fits. But we have to unmount the motherboard again to proceed with the next step, which shall become the 5th step. 5th step, plugs and headers. Starting with the tricky pairs of pins to connect the motherboard to the case, like the power button. Then we match the wires of the case to these pins that carry the same label as the pins. The positives and negatives must also be matched. But there is one wire labeled as LED which we didn't plug because it has no match. This is one of the plugs of the wires of the case. But before we plug, we find the positive first. According to a YouTuber, this is the positive. Now we're ready to plug. This is the power LED positive and we will insert it now. This is the negative. Just do the same with the 3rd and 4th connectors. Here we're almost done with the first set of plugs. There are other connectors of the wires of the case. Just match them with the motherboard. Aside from the label, let's check if the pins and plugs match. And they match. We did the same with the other plugs. After the plugs and headers, we mounted back the motherboard. Step 7. The GPU. We inserted the GPU into the PCIe 5.0 slot. GPU now installed. Now step 8, PSU. PSU comes with many cables but we do not need them all. We only use the ATX cable for the motherboard, the cable for PCIe and CPU. So there are only 3 cables. This PSU is ATX size but it fits our micro ATX case. This is our motherboard ATX 3.0 cable. And this other one is for the GPU. The motherboard cable goes to that slot. We have here another cable. And this is the GPU cable which goes to this slot. This is the third cable. And these are the CPU cables going here. We are plugging the 3 PSU cables now. We forgot to install the SATA PATA cable of the PSU. And we will plug this cable to these interlink connectors of the case. This will give power to the fans of the case that has RGB lighting. We unmounted the PSU for these steps. First, plug the PSU cable to the connector. Then plug the other end of this cable to the SATA PATA port of the PSU. So there are 8 purchases and 8 steps for our first gaming computer without the peripherals. Now here's the most exciting part, making the computer work. First, power on the monitor. Tama, monitor muna. Pa-on mo muna yung mga monitor. Also the keyboard and mouse. Ba't nag-on yung monitor? Naka-on na yung screen ng monitor. We switch on the power supply. Now push that power on button. Then wait for the display in the monitor. Then we follow the instructions flashed on the screen. Go to the F1. Press F1 for ASUS enhancement and run setup. Computer reboots to UEFI. There is an LED light on the motherboard during booting process. Then we enter the settings we want in the BIOS. Disabled here ASUS enhancement. We save the settings and turned off the computer. Before restarting the computer, we plug in an external optical drive for the installation of Windows 11 Pro. We enter the product key from the installation kit. Then we follow the instruction until the installation is complete. Now a pat on our shoulders for our first computer build. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. For temperature and performance, just watch on. We like our build. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.